and welcome to the official podcast of the Cleveland International Film Festival, CIFF Speaks, sponsored by Wayside Furniture. I'm Dee Perry, and I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Aaron Spears. Aaron, this is a special date for the festival and its supporters.
It sure is, Dee. April 7th is here. It is opening night for CIFF45 streams. So now, through April 20th, pause all work, pause all errands. Film lovers are able to experience 117 feature films, 182 short films, plus interact with all kinds of filmmakers from all around the world, and this year also the CIFF staff.
Yeah, it's very cool. And here to tell us more are the festival's Associate Director, Patrick Shepard, and its Executive Director, Marcy Goodman. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Marcy, CIFF's opening night tonight is always obviously a cause for celebration. Can you tell us a little bit about the kickoff for the festival this year and the film that's going to start it all?
Yes, we're opening tonight, and it's a different opening night that we might be used to because it is online. However, like any opening night, we have an amazing film to share with our audience. This film for this year's opening night is called Together, Together. It's directed by Nicole Beckwith. It's from the USA. And it's a very unusual love story. It's about Matt, who's a 40-something-year-old guy whose biological clock is ticking. He wants to become a father, but he has no one to share his life with, so he hires Anna to be his surrogate, and it's about the relationship that develops between the two of them, and it's a platonic love story, as if there could be such a thing, but there can.
It sounds like fun. And Patrick, there's going to be a Q&A attached to this film, so give us the how and the when of the Q and who'll be doing the A.
Well, Artistic Director Mallory Martin will facilitate a live interactive Q&A with the director, Nicole Beckwith. The Q&A will be available to opening night ticket holders starting at 8:30 p.m. tonight on the CIFF Virtual Cinema platform. If you're watching from your TV through one of our free apps on Roku or Apple TV, you can stay right there and listen. But if you want to ask a question, you'll need to make sure that you're on a browser-based device. Find the YouTube channel for the film festival, and you can ask questions through the comments section on that page.
Great. And beyond this opening night, will there be more opportunities for audiences to interact with filmmakers this year?
Oh, wow. Well, so many. The CIFF45 streams happy hour shows are sponsored by our friends at the Great Lakes Brewing Company, and there will be a live interactive Q&A after our closing night film, Best Summer Ever, on Saturday, April 17th at around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Mallory will interview the film's directors, Michael Parks Randa and Lawrence Matelli, plus actors Shannon DeVito and AJ Murray. And going back to those happy hours, there's going to be 7 of those overall. And the first Thursday of the festival, tomorrow, and Friday, plus the 5 weekdays next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There will be a live happy hour. Again, it's going to be hosted on our YouTube channel, and people can interact with the filmmakers that are going to be interviewed through that chat on the YouTube page.
Great.
Marcy, is part of the festival, I and many others, we always look forward to the unveiling of the CIFF trailer year by year. Without giving away too much of what's going to be unveiled tonight, can you give us a little preview of the trailer?
Absolutely. It is a tradition that our trailer is unveiled every year on opening night, and this year is no different. Our theme is, of course, Bring Film Home, and the brilliant and creative minds from Fusion Filmworks and Type 27 have created an animated trailer that explores the ways in which we can all bring film home. And although we might be spread apart this year and not under the same roof at Playhouse Square, we are all still a film festival community. And just wait until you see it.
And I want to circle back, Marcy, to the opening night film and another aspect of what it represents. Together, Together is directed by Nicole Beckwith, as you mentioned, and she's included in the 46% of films at this year's festival that are helmed by women. So how long and why has it been a goal of yours to raise the participation level and visibility at the festival for women directors?
Women should have a much more prominent voice in film and in filmmakers than they do, as it is as important in front of the camera as behind the camera. Our focus happens to be on behind the camera. So we've been striving for years to increase the number of films in our festival, both features and shorts, that are directed by women. And we're very proud that 46% of our films this year are directed by women. We do have a very special award called the Real Women Direct Award, sponsored by Deborah Bachman-Ratner each year. And it's an audience vote award. At the end of the festival, there will be a cash prize for the top female director in our festival.
So, Patrick, once the festival's up and running tonight, the CIFF staff, your job's done, right? You're just going to sit back and enjoy some films this year?
Well, not quite. Actually, it'll be a lot like it is during an in-person festival. My primary responsibility will be to ensure that all of our sponsors, our funders, our partners, and of course our patrons are having a great experience on our virtual cinema platform. And I'm really trying to share pro tips for our supporters to experience the festival in the best way possible. For example, I want to make sure that everybody knows that just like at the in-person festival, we are limited to a certain number of seats this year in terms of streams for each film. So we encourage everyone to prioritize the films that you want to see most and make sure that you watch those first, because some films may sell out during the festival and be removed from the virtual cinema platform. And I think most people are aware of this, but I think some people who are just beginning to focus on our festival this year, I just want to make sure everybody knows that 112 of our 117 feature films are available on demand starting tomorrow, Thursday, April 8th at 11 a.m. And most of these films will be available for viewing across the USA and territories unless otherwise noted on each individual film page.
Do you feel pretty comfortable this year after having that quick pivot last year to this platform? You've had a year to kind of build out the base knowledge at CIFF. Does it feel, I don't know, as robust as you were hoping for, since you were able to plan specifically for a virtual festival this year?
Oh, I mean, our FAQs section is so much more robust this year. We have a bunch of how-to videos that are already on the festival's YouTube page now. And I know I keep referring to the YouTube page, but I really encourage people to bookmark that page because there's so much content on there already. And there will be so much more starting tomorrow, because at 11 a.m. on Thursday, we're going to unveil 37 filmmaker conversations that are sponsored by PNC. So there is so much more to participate with, particularly on our YouTube page, alongside, of course, everything on the virtual cinema platform.
Speaking of participation, Marcy, earlier, Patrick was talking about ways that audiences could interact with filmmakers. I want to have you share some of the ways that the audience can interact with each other.
We hope the audience really will interact with each other, and that's why there is social media. Lots of opportunities to do that. We will be very busy on social media ourselves and encouraging our audience to do so as well. And then what we found out last year with our first online festival was that buzz did develop, and people within their own groups, their family, their friends, did you see this? Did you see that? And so that happened, and that was so fantastic. And then something that our own board of directors is doing, which we recommend to anyone who has a group of family and friends, is that our board has a WhatsApp. And so they're communicating with one another throughout the festival, talking about the films and other things. And so there's just so much you can do. Stay connected with an online film festival.
And last year, you had to do things so quickly that you didn't get a chance to build out those things. So how are you tracking the buzz that you were talking about? How are you keeping up with how the audience is reacting?
We too will hear about it on social media. We'll keep an eye on ticket sales, keep an eye on, what those who have all access passes are watching. That's always very telling. Our usual indicators and an in-person festival, some of them we just don't have with an online festival. But with any festival, the buzz is one of my favorite parts because it's a complete surprise. It's impossible to predict what films will have buzz. And then the film festival this year, like last year, is 14 days long. And the closing night is actually on the last Saturday night, April 17th. That's when we'll announce all of our award winners. But that still leaves 3 more days to watch films. And so that's going to give our audience the chance to see those films that they've been hearing about or that won the awards. And so those 3 days will probably go by really quickly for people, but they're built in very purposefully.
I, for one, am very looking forward to those 3 days because I think my first CIFF was like 94 or 95, and I have yet to see an audience award winner during the festival. So I'm very much looking forward to being able to see it during the festival that Sunday.
Yep, this is your chance.
One of the other features of the in-person festival that helps with sustainability is obviously the challenge match. How is that going to work this year since we're not going to be in person, looking at the buttons, looking at the different prizes and things?
Yeah, our challenge match is our annual campaign, and we do rely on it every year. It's a big percentage of our fundraising each year. We do it in partnership with Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. They are our single largest funder, and the money that we get from the county has to be matched, thus the challenge match. This year, our goal is $145,000 because of our 45th anniversary. And we're doing it online, just as we did last year. And last year went really well. We had never done it entirely online before. But what we don't have is the opportunity 40 or 50 times a day to get in front of a live audience to promote the challenge match. And what we don't have is the challenge match set up in the lobby of the theaters for people to walk by every time they're going to and from a movie. So we really have to rely on our own messaging. There'll be messaging before films at every opportunity with filmmaker engagement. We'll be doing that. Yesterday, the staff made its own video to promote the challenge match, which will happen in a few days during the festival. And, we really hope that people will go to clevelandfilm.org/donate, as long as you're asking,
Sure.
to donate to our challenge match.
Well, the big important question, though, Marcy, is with the challenge match, do we get buttons this year?
Yes, you get buttons this year. Like every year, those collector items will exist. They'll be mailed out after the festival because obviously they can't be picked up. But there'll be a set of lapel buttons for anyone who donates $10 or more. They can look forward to receiving those in the spring.
Sweet.
And Patrick, what other bells and whistles or buttons are you excited about that this year's festival can offer?
Oh, online voting. You'll be able to make your voice heard by voting on our virtual platform. You can help determine the winners of 8 competitions and awards for feature films and 17 short film awards. So that's something that we were not able to pull together in enough time last year, but it's ready to go this year. I will say one of the great additions that Mallory made happen is our Groundbreaker Award. And CIFF's racial equity program seeks to elevate and support BIPOC, that's Black, Indigenous, people of color, filmmakers. And the Groundbreaker Award is presented to one filmmaker in particular who we feel is a pioneer in the field and whose work has proven to lift up marginalized voices. And this recognition comes with a $5,000 cash award to help support the filmmaker's future work. And we are honored to present the first ever Groundbreaker Award to Ashley O'Shea, the director, producer, and cinematographer of the film Unapologetic.
Very cool. Marcy, what do you hope is the takeaway from a festival that encourages us to bring film home?
I hope that is exactly the takeaway, and that people, wherever they are experiencing the festival, they will bring film home and be open-minded about what they see and take a chance on what they see and really take advantage of all of the filmmaker engagement throughout the festival. There's so much, probably more than we'd be able to manage in an in-person festival, in fact.
Interesting.
So we are still a community as a film festival, no matter what. And so people will start tonight, opening night, which is sponsored by Dollar Bank. and bring film home right from the kickoff of the 45th Cleveland International Film Festival.
We're so looking forward to everything that rolls out from now until April 20th. Thank you both for making it happen. Patrick Shepard, Marcy Goodman, we really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Marcy Goodman, the Executive Director, and Patrick Shepard, the Associate Director of the Cleveland International Film Festival. You can get more details about the festival when you log on to the CIFF website, clevelandfilm.org. I'm Dee Perry.
And I'm Aaron Spears.
Our sponsor for this podcast is Wayside Furniture, keeping it local since 1937. You, too, can be a special supporter of the Cleveland International Film Festival. Please consider a donation to the CIFF Challenge Match presented by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Our goal is to reach $145,000 this year to support the future of our festival, and we're so grateful for any amount you're able to contribute. To donate, please visit clevelandfilm.org/donate. And thank you for listening to CIFF Speaks.